everyone. This is Dean on the scene for the Rogers Revue. And ladies and gentlemen, we have one of Silver Spring's finest. You've known her from The Parent Trap. She is Melissa on the hit TV series Abbott Elementary, and she is the Grand Marshal and co-host of the National Cherry Blossom Festival, which can be seen on ABC7, their website, and Facebook. Lisa and Walter, how you doing?
I'm good, Dean Rogers. How are you?
I am doing fine. I love how you say Dean Rogers. Feels so...
Dean Rogers. It's the Rogers Revue. Who doesn't know it?
Feels so formal. So how does it feel when they gave you the call and say that you are the Grand Marshal of this parade?
Well, at first I thought, who'd they call first that couldn't do it? Is that weird?
Yes, it is.
And I am co-grand marshaling with Mickey and Minnie Mouse, so we can't forget them.
Nope.
I think they might even get top billing. But I was just... Well, the people here at my home in the DMV have been so beautiful and lovely and have been so congratulatory, and people that hear my voice, usually they have to hear me. Yeah. They'll be like, oh my God, I love Abbott Elementary. And they're just so sweet, and I'm happy to be home. I'm proud to be a part of that show. I'm proud to be a DC area native, and I'm putting the two together. It's just the best weekend ever.
Absolutely. So what does the cherry blossoms mean to you personally, especially say you are a native, and I'm sure you've seen it trillions of times?
Well, you know what? There are things that you do. People always say, well, you've seen this and you've seen that. Yeah. Do you know that I, as a lifer Washingtonian.
Me too.
Well, Silver Springian.
Yeah.
But we started off in Palmer Park. We moved to Langley Park. I went to junior high in Tacoma Park.
Wow.
And it's all part of this area, all the parks. I was in all the parks.
Yeah.
So I've been here, and I went to college at Catholic University, which is in Northeast.
Oh, yeah.
I lived on 3rd and C Street. I worked in restaurants on DuPont Circle and right on Massachusetts Avenue, serving all the Congress people over the years. So I've been here a minute. The cherry blossoms have always been my favorite time, always, because there's nothing more beautiful. It is just the most glorious sight. If you haven't seen it, you got to travel down and check it out when they're blooming, and they've all popped out. Come down and brave the crowds and make it. I have never, Dean Rogers, never been inside the Washington Monument.
Really?
Never. I've been to everything else. I've been to Lincoln Memorial, Jefferson Memorial. I used to do my term papers in college in the Library of Congress.
Wow.
Been to Arlington Cemetery. I've been everywhere, not the Washington Monument. Oh, and by the way,
Yep.
our school went to the Smithsonian's, all of them,
Oh, yes.
every year for class trip.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've done all the stuff, not the Washington Monument.
I have a similar story. I've been here 42 years,
Yeah.
and the one place I've never been is the White House.
Really?
Never.
Oh, honey, you got to go to the White House. I'm
Absolutely.
going to see if I can get you invited.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, I've been there for a Christmas party and a tour. I was dating a guy in high school whose mother was a deputy press secretary. So I
Excellent.
went in the back way through the old executive office building.
Of course. Now, you play a second grade teacher. In fact, you're a lot better than my old second grade teacher. Was there a teacher in your time that was so influential to you?
Oh, yes, my favorite teacher. My favorite teacher was advanced English teacher all 3 years of junior high, Mrs. Freddie Davy. She was Teacher of the Year in Montgomery County, Maryland, several times. And Montgomery County, as you know, is a fantastic school system. It's
is.
top 10 rated all over the country still, I believe, to
Oh,
this
yes.
day. And I brag about it constantly because I got an exceptional education. And my mother was a teacher. She taught in D.C. public schools, and she taught in our Montgomery County system as a substitute. So I have very high standards for the teachers. Freddie Davy was exceptional among them. She was one of the first kids in an integrated school in this country.
Wow.
She took education extremely seriously. She spoke with gravitas, very much like Barbara Howard
Yes.
on Abbott Elementary. She would say her W's had an H in front of them, like, what were you thinking, Miss Walter?
Yes.
And then she would, if I was talking in class, which was usually the case, she would hand me the chalk and say, you know the subject, teach it. And then I would have to teach it. And oftentimes I was very good because the reason I was talking in class is I was bored. So she said, okay, she's ahead, so let her use it, put it to some good use. And she said, she told me in those times, you could be a teacher if you wanted. You should think about doing this. So now I'm playing one on TV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what you want to say to the people who are not here physically, but either watching online
Yeah.
or watching overseas, what do you want to say to the people who should be here?
Well, if you haven't experienced DC, our nation's capital, in spring, you really should. It's absolutely beautiful. The weather is and I say this over the years, so I'm not just saying it because I'm here hosting this beautiful festival.
Of course.
Here and Paris, the two most beautiful places to be in the world. And I've traveled a bit. My father was for 2 years overseas at a scientific institute in Germany, and we went every country in Europe. And I am telling you, this is the most beautiful place to be. If you have the opportunity in April, May, come and visit Washington. Go to see all the free stuff your tax dollars pay for.
Yes.
And if you're international, you have to see this glorious city. It really is true. The sight of the cherry blossoms when they're all in bloom is one of the most beautiful things that you could ever witness. It's stunning. You have to come. We have good food, too.
I think Lisa just gave the commercial for the best commercial for Washington, D.C. ever.
Yeah.
Lisa,
I
thank
work
you
for
so
the Tourist Bureau now.
You do. They should hire you. Lisa, thank you so much. And don't forget, you can check out Lisa hosting with Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse here on nationalcherryblossomfestival.org, on their Facebook page, and on ABC7 WJLA. Silver Spring and Oxon Hill representing. See you next time.
Peace out.